pretty much anybody who is really serious about accessibility comes to AccessU.
What I like about AccessU is that it's very hands-on. A lot of the classes really focus on really specifically doing something, right? As opposed to some of the more theoretical sort of policy type discussions and whatnot. Those discussions are really important, and there are some of those as well, but by and large, my impression and my experience of AccessU is it really is empowering people with specific skills.
For me, every year I find it to be inspirational to see new people coming into the field to share their excitement of, yeah, somebody asked me to go and learn about accessibility, and now I'm really stoked, cannot wait to get back and do it. So they catch the passion, they feel the community here.
They'll ask about how did you get into this, or how do I use this piece of code, or oh, I didn't realize that HTML had this new element I could use, and that was really helpful. I'm glad you shared that, or I learned stuff. I like it when they say they learned stuff. It's a lot of work to present for an hour and a half, but it's nice to be able to go a little bit more in depth.
A lot of the trainings here go above and beyond something you think you're going to get. A gentleman was talking about accessible PowerPoints, but he didn't just talk about making a PowerPoint accessible. It's about preparing for the presentation, about designing the presentation to be accessible, and then delivering the presentation to be accessible.
The people that come here, the value is not on the why question, but on the how question, right? Back in the day, it was always, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to do that? I think we've really passed beyond that question, and now it's more, how do I do this? They were looking at e-learning, and how do we ensure that e-learning remains accessible? How do we, all these new technologies that are racing at us a million miles an hour, how do we ensure that we don't leave anybody behind?
They really encourage feedback from people in the meeting while it's happening. You may be sitting in a room learning about something where you actually know a piece of something that might be helpful to everybody else in the room, and that's very encouraged.
When they ask you questions, you can engage with them a little bit more than at a really big conference, and I feel like the people here are enthusiastic to be here and about the stuff that they're learning.
You can get access to people who are specialists in various aspects of accessibility at this conference that you can't necessarily do at a larger conference.
The real connection of confirming that real people with disabilities can actually use something is more joyful than testing and teaching, because you don't do the usability testing until there's a decent shot that it's going to work. And so for me to see us as a community getting to that point, testing to see that real people can use their bank accounts, buy something online, book their travel, and seeing it being successful, absolutely joyful.
There's also real practical skills that people bring and share here. This is how we did it. This is how we suggest you can do it. So that practicality of walking away with specific skills that you can apply in your day-to-day job starting on Wednesday, right, or Thursday, or whatever it is, I think is one of the big values.